I really just have to surrender to the fact that people that like my music also like to cry. And this is like one of the sadder songs for me, and it's, okay, here's the thing, it's cathartic, right? It's not just sad. When you write about the shit that just is hard, it's like, ugh, it's cathartic. It feels good in a way. So I think you understand. I think you do. I think you get it. Anyway, this song, it's on the new record as well. And it came out of a memory that I had suppressed for most of my life. Something happened to me when I was 7 years old that I immediately thereafter forgot in a really big way. Most of that year I forgot. And then a couple of years ago, it all came flooding back, and I remembered everything. And what happened was, my parents split that year, and my mom and my mom got custody of me, and I moved in with her into this one-bedroom apartment to a new town, new city, new school, new apartment. And my bedroom was her walk-in closet. But I didn't mind this. I actually preferred that my room didn't have windows in it, because that year for me was pretty much the hardest year I've ever had. And it was full of so much change that I didn't even want the seasons to change outside my window. And my mom, who had been a visual artist, who hadn't quite made a career for herself yet, because she was busy raising babies, she realized quickly that she was going to have to go back to school to learn something else that would make her quicker money. So that first year, we were the poorest that we ever were. We were on food stamps, we were on welfare, we had PSS. We struggled in every possible way. And my mom did all kinds of things to get us through. One of the things that she did, in order to pay for my school lunch, was she would dump the big jar of change that was out in everyone has one, collects the change in the house, and she dumped that out once a week the year that I was to start at my new school, and she would make 5 piles with 100 pennies each in them, and she would put 100 pennies into a plastic sandwich bag, and she sent me off to my new school to pay for my lunch this way. Lunch was $1 then. And I was mortified. Not only was I the, nerdy, quiet, new girl with no friends, but I had a friggin' bag of pennies in my hand. But somehow in my little 7-year-old mind, I knew that my mom was doing the best that she possibly could, and not to say anything about it, and just to sort of bear that tiny little burden for her sake. So I would ball the pennies up into my fist, and I would hide it until I got to the lunch lady. I'd be in the lunch line, and I would just try to get to her without anyone seeing this little bag of pennies. And by the time I got to the lunch lady, I would slip the bag of pennies into her hands. And every day she would look down at me and give me a scowl. And probably after about a few weeks of doing this, she paused the lunch line to give me a lecture on a program that I should join, since I clearly couldn't afford the school lunch. She even went into details like how she had to stay a little bit longer to count out the 500 pennies that she'd have by the end of the week because of me. And she did this all in front of the students that were behind me in line. And I started to cry in front of everyone. And then I ran out of the lunchroom into the hallways. And eventually a teacher found me. And the school took notice of the entire event, and they pulled me out of lunch all together, and they made me eat lunch with a counselor for the rest of the year. You guys came out tonight to have a good time, right? Yeah! Woo! The counselor's office didn't have a window. It had a painting of a window, which I found to be even more depressing. So I call this my windowless year. It was shut away for so long, and then suddenly it revealed itself to me, and I thought I ought to write this into a song so I never forget it again. And this song is called 100 Pennies. I heard it was a myth when a baby bird falls out of the nest, can't be touched by a human and be taken care of. Flocks, herds, and colonies, school for the fish and gaggle for geese. Where will I go when my tribe goes away? Mama says we'll be okay. Her classes at night and work in the day. She will build us a future and hang our clothes out on the line. Ooh. She's counting 100 pennies in a Ziploc bag. 100 pennies and I won't feel bad. 100 pennies in a Ziploc bag. Take this change, it's the same. I'm not strange. Yeah. They saw me sit alone, broken, that's what they call my home. So they sent me away with my milk and my tray. Ooh. The cafeteria is no place for teary eyes, and I ate lunch with a lady in an office down the hall. Ooh. I showed her 100 pennies in a Ziploc bag. Whoa, 100 pennies and I won't feel bad. Whoa, 100 pennies in a Ziploc bag. Ooh, 100 pennies and I won't feel bad. Take this change, it's the same. I'm not strange. Yeah. My bed was under the window.